Okay, well, this is Third Thursday Burger Burn at Mason City, and it's in Doug Rosendall's hangar, and there's no speeches, no business conducted here. We're just here to have fun. Everybody comes and brings a little food, and we meet a lot of nice people here. We see a lot of really neat airplanes, like the one behind me that belongs to Chuck Doyle, and he comes down from Minnesota, and people come from all over. So welcome to Mason City, and I hope you can stay for a long time.
Good evening. My name is John Heeman, and I'm a Catholic priest, retired now. I've been flying airplanes for 55 years. I came here to the Mason City Airport about 17 years ago and got together with some of the local pilots here. We decided that we had to establish some kind of camaraderie, and so we decided to put a grill out and put some steaks on it, and on a Thursday night, third Thursday of the month. And so this started out. We are now beginning our 10th year of doing this, and I have the prize. I have never missed one in the last 110 months. We're looking forward to next month, June. We'll be celebrating a 111 third Thursdays. It's very interesting, the different pilots that come in here. We invite them to come in and they bring their food, and it's really a wonderful supporting thing. Quite an association. We just, all kinds of airplanes, as you probably can see from the video that's being made. We got a lot of different airplanes that come in, some of the old warplanes, etc. If you're in the area here in North Iowa, some third Thursday of the month, don't hesitate to drop in. There's plenty of camaraderie here, and there's always plenty of food. And all you have to do is bring a little bit to eat if you want to eat here. Thank you very much.
So I'm Mark Holt, and I'm Doug's neighbor to the east. And Doug was actually my mentor in flying. I was looking at using aircraft for business travel, and I went into Doug with a big yellow notepad and sat down with him and said, what's it going to take for me to learn how to fly, and how do I leverage flying into business? And Doug Doug had me write it all down. I put little boxes in front of it, and 1 year later I came in with all the boxes checked off, and then it was what's next. I was going to get my multi-engine commercial, and Doug said, you haven't written the check yet, have you? And I said, no, not yet. And he goes, good, we're going on a trip. So we hopped in an old Cessna 310. It was actually a U3A, 1957 U3A, which is a 310. And we flew that out west to the mountains, and that's a whole nother story of itself, but that's probably one of my most memorable trips with Doug. And Doug and I became fast friends through aviation. We've flown to Barrow, Alaska together. We've been to Churchill in float planes. And what you see here is the Millennium Phenom, and this was our corporate jet. And when I sold my business, I figured it was the pinnacle of my flying career, and I didn't want to sell the jet, so I kept it. I told my wife I'm going to repaint it and repurpose it and provide airlift for Veterans Airlift Command. So we haul post 9/11 Purple Heart recipients to appointments, whatever they may be. One of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And over the course of time, when we decided to paint this, the artist who was helping get into my head and figure out what kind of paint scheme to put on it asked a very simple question. How do you feel when you fly a jet? And I said, I don't know what you mean, why? And he goes, I've never flown a jet. How do you feel when you fly a jet? And I said, I feel like I left the Starship Enterprise sitting up in orbit, and I'm descending to some planet's surface in a shuttle. And boom, the Star Wars, the Star Trek, the Back to the Future, all that stuff started to take shape. So to make a long story short, I told him to go ahead and paint it. Actually, I told him, I said, I think it's getting a little too cute, and maybe a little too fun. I wanted more of a military, serious theme. And he goes, Mark, these guys you're hauling have had their legs blown off, their arms blown off. He goes, don't you think they've had enough seriousness? Why don't you make it fun? And I said, you're right, the heck with it, paint it. So they painted it, and through the course of that, the serendipitous part of this crazy paint job was It is featured in magazines, and that's was fun, you know, for the ego part, but the real fun part of that is it gets the story out and it gets the message out about Veterans Airlift Command. A gentleman who had a Phenom 100 read the article that was in Twin and Turbine magazine. The day he read it, he signed up. The very next day, he flew 2 missions for Veterans Airlift. So Walt Fricke, the founder of the organization, said, "Mark, you're VAC-1." And I said, no, Walt, you know, you founded the organization. You got a jet. You can be VAC-1. And Walt said, "No, your jet's louder." I said, "I'm not mistaken, we have the same engines." And he goes, "No, it's louder," meaning the magazine. So the sidebar to this paint job is we get invited to certain air shows. We're in Boeing Square at Oshkosh. We're at the Wings Over Dallas Air Show. And we're a lot of places we wouldn't be with a regularly painted corporate jet. So it helps us get the message out. Other than that, third Thursday is where it's at the Mason City Airport.
I'm Hannah Peterson, and I am in Mason City, and I rode here in an airplane with my father, who drove the airplane, which was a little nerve-wracking. It was my first time in a small plane. It was a 3-seater, 4-seater, and it was very interesting. I got a little bit plane sick, a little bit motion sick, but it was a very interesting experience, and I'm very glad that I got the opportunity, because I'm kind of proud of my dad that he can fly an airplane, because not everyone can do that. I really wanted to learn how to fly an airplane, but now I'm not so sure, because I don't think I could handle being in an airplane for that long, but it was very interesting, and I'm glad I did it.
My name is Chuck Doyle. I've been coming down to the third Thursday Burger Burn. Oh, it's got to be for over 10 years now. And tonight we flew in our 1932 Waco UBF-2. My wife Jody and I live south of Minneapolis, St. Paul at a private air park. And we have 6 airplanes, and this is the first time we've had this one down here to the Burger Burn in probably a couple years. We usually try to bring another airplane down here just to spice things up a little bit. And we also try to bring some younger pilots that are interested in airplanes. And tonight we did that as well. Our neighbor Ashton was able to fly down our Super Decathlon, which is sitting in the back row. But I fly for a living professionally. Fly for an airline, and this is just a great event, and it changes every month. You never know what kind of airplanes. I've been here, there's been Twin Beaches, Matt Yonkin and his Twin Beach, Warren Peach in his Zero, the Last Samurai, and Doug, of course, occasionally will bring a Warbird down here as well for the people to look at, enjoy, hear, and see fly. It's just a fun event, and look forward to it every third Thursday.
All right, I'm Ashton Croy. I am 18 years old. I got into aviation when I was young. My dad flew in the Navy for 20 years, and he is currently a FedEx captain on the Airbus A300. I live at a small air park in Webster, Minnesota, 1MN8. It's a great little place. Got a lot of neighbors who are very into aviation. So that's kind of how I got into aviation. Right now I'm a student at the University of North Dakota. I am a commercial aviation student, and I got my license when I was in high school just to make sure I'd like it. And then I went up there last summer now, I believe, and went through their program, still working on it. Passed my instrument check ride a couple weeks ago, and I hope to be a commercial pilot someday. So how I was introduced to this event was by a lovely neighbor named Chuck Doyle. He offered to take me down here, and the first time I came down was August of last year. So came down here in his Stinson Junior, and I was kind of his autopilot, so that was pretty fun. But did that a couple years, well, about a year later, which would be now, you know, came down here. He last night actually, he let me fly his Super Decathlon, just take it around the pattern a couple times with him, and then he hopped out. Got 4 landings in. He said I'm good to go. And then I came down here tonight and got to enjoy some food, some friendship with people who love aviation, and that's how I got here.
I'm Alyssa Lukish. I'm Ashley Tuxer. We both work at Rockwell Collins. We're both systems engineers.
On the GS side.
In government systems.
Yep. And
how'd you hear about we were both doing the two-fly program. That's how we're here. How'd you hear about the two-fly program?
So I heard about two-fly with all my coworkers. Really, they had a lot of good things to say about it. Especially going through ground school, a lot of people are encouraged to continue on learning about aviation and doing the two-fly flight training.
Yeah.
So the way we ended up here, though, is from
our flight instructor,
Matt. So this is our third day flying for two-fly, and every third Thursday of the month, every month, they have this awesome barbecue out here.
Lots of food. Lots of great food.
Everybody brings brats, burgers.
A lot of potato salad.
Chips, cookies, cakes. It's super awesome. The food was really good.
Yeah,
really
it's super fun. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, really.
There's so many planes out here.
Definitely. A really good way to meet other people who especially work at Rockwell Collins, but also other
who just
pilots.
enjoy flying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. Really fun experience.
Yep, I agree. That's all we got.
Okay. So everyone's welcome here.
Come join us.
Yeah, come join us. Any third Thursday of the month, we'll be here. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, folks, this is Doug Rosendahl. Doug is the owner of the hangar in which this event is hosted every month. And you started this event 11 years ago, 10 years ago, or how long ago?
We're in our 10th year. We were sitting out here one night in February, and we just grabbed some pizzas, and we all come out and sit around. And we said we ought to do this more often. We need to make it regular. So we talked about different days, and third Thursday had a ring to it. So we said, okay, third Thursday, we're going to do it third Thursday. And so this is 100, and I think Padre says 110.
Yes.
And we've canceled once or twice for weather, but for the most part, we do it every third Thursday, year round, and it's really just turned into a great event. And it's it's such it's so exciting to have all these airplanes come in. And I just tell people, if you want to do this at your airport, the secret is make it simple. All I do is open up the hangar and pull out the tables and chairs, and the first people that arrive help set up the tables and chairs, and the last people that arrive help bag up the trash and and put up the tables and chairs. So it's easy. And we've worked really hard to make sure it doesn't become laborsome, because then you'll tire of it. And we've been doing it for 10 years. And if we're out of town, the locals, they know the drill, and they'll just come in and take care of it. And it happens even if I'm gone. And it's been a wonderful thing for our airport. It's really raised the awareness of the airport in our community. So it's just great. And we had a great turnout tonight, lots of airplanes. And
given the weather, that was
beautiful weather. It's about time after the winter we've had. I mean, it's been a tough winter here.
And I can attest to how familiar the locals are with your hangar, because I've been here a number of times when you were not here.
Yeah.
And it looks just like tonight. Everybody knows what to do. And
right.
I hope they leave the hangar in good shape for you.
Great shape. And it kind of forces me maybe to clean the floor up a little bit, which needs to happen anyway. And there's a Fairchild PT pulling up, but it's it's fellowship. I mean, flying's not about airplanes, it's about people, and it's about sharing our experiences with our friends and getting to know other like-minded people, and it's just been wonderful. And I just encourage anybody to try to organize something like this at your airport, because people fly more and people get to know each other. Another thing that's been nice about it, the spouses come out. It's not all pilots. If you look around here, you'll see a lot of women and kids, and so we just have a great time. It's been really fun, it's great.
Yeah, and we have a great mix of airplanes here. We have new ones, we have a lot of old ones, some biplanes, and not tonight, but every now and then you bring a special treat out here. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
I'm richly blessed to get to fly a lot of cool airplanes, and so if I've going to an air show, on the weekend following third Thursday, it's not uncommon for me to grab an airplane and swing through here on the way. And so we've had Mustangs and Corsairs and P-40s, B-25, you know, so we, you know, T-6, it's not uncommon. Tonight we had 2 or 3 biplanes, Fairchild, a cardboard Constellation, the Blanca, Cruise Master, you know, Cirruses. One time we had some folks flying in a Citation.
Yes.
You know, we've had people fly a long ways.
I've seen helicopters here too.
Yeah, we've had helicopters. We've had people fly all the way from North Dakota, Texas. You know, we've had people flying a long ways just to have this experience. And so our hope is that people will see what happens here and take it home to their own airport and create a community and expand the community at their airport, so we can enjoy these, you know, these wonderful airplanes and the people who fly them.
Yeah, this really is something special. At least in Iowa, I don't know of another airport that does it. You know, as you said, it doesn't take all that much, but for some reason,
if there's
Mason City is where it happens. So if you're ever in the area on a 3rd Thursday of the month, stop by. This event is open for everyone.
Everybody's welcome. You know, the house rules are bring something to throw on the grill and a dish to pass and something to drink. But if you're in an airplane and you're just passing through and you stop through, there's a whole bunch of leftover food every time. So feel free to stop in, and the first time's on us.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Martin.
And see you next month.
You bet. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's about the time to go before night. We got a great time all together with these pilots coming from all around the country. So what I could tell you is that next time you are in the US, je vous encourage à venir le 3e jeudi du mois à Mason City pour le barbecue avec tous les pilotes du coin. Super événement et je vous dis à très bientôt. Au revoir.